All right, let's talk about one of the most important, but maybe least understood, parts of AI, deployment. We're going to make this super simple by taking a little trip. Not to a data center, but to a restaurant kitchen.
Now really, think about that. Imagine a chef creates the most incredible dish you could ever imagine, a total game changer. But what if it never, ever leaves that kitchen? If nobody else gets to taste it, what was the point? Well, that is the exact problem we have with machine learning models.
So let's meet our chef. In our story, the chef is a brilliant data scientist. They have poured months, maybe even years, into building a phenomenal machine learning model. This thing is a work of art. It's their perfect recipe. But here's the catch. Right now, it just sits on their laptop. It's trapped in their own private digital kitchen.
And that's the heart of the problem, isn't it? As long as that model is stuck on one computer, it can't do anything for anyone. It can't recommend a movie, can't translate a language, can't help a doctor spot a disease. It's all potential, with absolutely zero real-world impact. So, how do we get this masterpiece out of the kitchen and onto the table for everyone to enjoy?
Well, that is where deployment comes in. Deployment is the bridge. It's the process that takes that amazing model out of the lab and puts it out into the world where it can finally start helping people. You could say it's the restaurant's grand opening.
To put it as simply as possible, deployment is all the stuff that has to happen after the model is built. It's the building, the staff, the ordering system. It is, quite literally, opening the restaurant doors so that customers can finally come in and try what the chef made.
This chart just makes it crystal clear. You've got the kitchen on one side. That's the model. The recipe is perfect, but it's on one computer, totally inaccessible. Then you've got the restaurant on the other side. That's deployment. Now the recipe is a dish being served to everyone, and it's actually creating real value.
Okay, so you've decided to open your restaurant. But what kind of restaurant is it going to be? A fancy sit-down place? A quick takeaway counter? A cool food truck? You see, there's not just one way to serve an ML model. You have to pick the right style for your customers and what they need.
For instance, you could use an API. Think of that as your takeaway window. It's perfect for other software that just needs a quick answer from your model and then gets on with its day. Or you could build a web app, which is kind of like a food truck, a whole self-contained experience where a user can walk right up and play around with your model. And for the big leagues, you've got enterprise platforms. That's the full-service restaurant, built to handle thousands of customers all at once.
So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What actually happens when a customer places an order? You'll see the process is actually super intuitive and it follows the exact same steps you'd imagine.
It's really just 4 simple steps. 1. The customer places an order. They send some data, like text to be translated. 2. A waiter, which is our API, grabs that data and takes it to the model. 3. Inside the kitchen, the model works its magic and cooks up a dish, the prediction. And 4. That dish is served right back to the happy customer. Simple as that.
Now, you might be thinking that building this waiter, this API, must be insanely complicated. But here's the cool part. With the tools we have today, the basic recipe to get it up and running can be really simple.
Just look at this. This single line of code, using a popular tool called Flask, is basically you just saying, okay, I'm open for business. I need a waiter. It's that first step in building the bridge between your kitchen and your customer, and it just goes to show how much more accessible this stuff has become.
So we've covered the what and the how, but let's bring it all back home to the most important question of all. Why bother? Why go through all the trouble of building the restaurant and hiring the waiters? Why does this even matter?
I mean, this quote really says it all. Without deployment, machine learning is just a cool science project, a fascinating idea locked in a lab. Deployment is what turns that idea into a tool that can actually help someone. It connects a brilliant algorithm to a real-world problem.
And you experience this every single day. That streaming service that somehow knows exactly what movie you want to watch next, that's a deployed model. That app on your phone that can instantly translate a menu in another language, that's a deployed model too. The tech that helps doctors find diseases sooner or makes your online shopping feel like it was made just for you, you guessed it, all of them are masterpieces that made it out of the kitchen.
So, the next time you use some piece of amazing tech, you can picture that whole restaurant working behind the scenes. The brilliant chef, the busy kitchen, and the whole system that brought that incredible dish to you. It really makes you wonder, now that the kitchen doors are wide open for everyone, what are we going to serve up next?